What do you do first thing every morning? And is it something that is helping you build the life you want with hormonal balance, fat loss, and energy sustained throughout the day? Or are you sabotaging your efforts as soon as your feet hit the floor? Today, we're going to talk about how to address what I do for a morning routine and suggestions for what you should really think about as you begin your day. So a few years ago, I started to rebuild my morning routine. I was trying to put one into place, but I was all over the place because I didn't have any specifics. I didn't have anything that I understood how to build a morning routine. I'd watched some videos and some people had mentioned what they do for their morning routine, but I wanted one that was specific for me and my goals and who I am as a woman in today's world. And that is when I came across this book, The Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod. And I read through this book, not once, not twice, maybe 3 times, but it gave me the ambition and also the direction of how to start building my morning routine for an effective, more prosperous, more fulfilling life. In this book, one of the first chapters you will read is chapter 3, and it's called the 95% reality check. Every day, you and I wake up, we face the same universal challenge: to overcome mediocrity and to live our life to its full potential, to rise above our excuses, do what's right, give our best, and create the level 10 life we truly want, the one with no limits, the one so few people ever get to live. Now, what is it about this that really grabbed my attention was the fact that I had a decision to make. My morning routine was in my hands, and I wanted to create one that was a foundation for my life. And then as I grew over the years, starting to implement my health practices, grow deeper in my faith, I realized that this morning routine either made or broke what I did throughout the day. It either made it easy and helped me stay on track, or it totally sabotaged what I was setting out to do every day. I realized that those first moments in the morning, right after you wake up, are the most powerful moments of your day, or can be the most powerful moments of your day, in setting the direction of not only your day, not only your evening, but of your life, to make sure that you know every morning what you're going to do to get you back on the track to wellness, to wholeness, to being who you're called to be. The fact of the matter is we have to pay attention to our minds and our mindset and start putting into place habits, routines that will start moving us closer to the person we want to be, closer to the healthier version of ourselves that we want to be, closer to that fat loss, hormone balance, and total health that most of us are looking for. If you're watching this video, you are looking for better health. You are looking for a full, healthy, vibrant life to live out the life you've been called to live. And so let's look at the little things that you might want to put in place starting today. We want to see life in a better way, but we just see it the way we've always seen it. It runs in my family. It's part of my bloodline. That's part of my genetics. And it isn't that way. Most of the time, we can step out and create a new path, new routines, new habits to actually change who we are, how we feel, how we look. And I'm not saying in some drastic way. I'm saying so that we become more of who we should be. I was waking up wired to start my day, but tired and worn out without the energy to pull me through or sustain me. I needed a nap every day. And I'm not saying anything's bad about naps. Naps are regenerative, and we can naturally have a nap and work that into your cycle and feel good about it. But it was a nap every day that I was crashing. I needed a nap to keep me going. And when I changed what I do in the morning, how I set up my morning routine, that has totally transformed. I am now energetic, full of energy, full of focus and joy throughout my whole day. My mornings actually feel like my secret weapon. They are what help me sustain a healthy lifestyle. So I'm going to give you 7 things that I've started to incorporate into my mornings. They're not in order, but I make sure that I incorporate these every morning to help set my day for success in body, soul, and mind, in fat loss, in balancing hormones, and having energy all day long. So the first one is I delay caffeine. And this was so hard for me to do. When I wake up in the morning, I would hit the floor and go to the coffee pot, push brew, and wait for my coffee to be able to sit down with my Bible, with my devotionals, because I needed that caffeine. Well, I have since broke that habit, and it wasn't easy, and I really didn't want to do it. But like all of my habits, what I've learned is I learn something new, I hear some scientific study, and I research and I listen, and then I experiment on myself. And lo and behold, delaying caffeine in the morning is absolutely a great thing to do. One of the studies that really convinced me of it was to study what they've seen with cortisol. So when we get up early in the morning, our cortisol naturally rises to get us going, to help face the day and do what we have to do. But when you add in caffeine, like within an hour or 2 hours of waking up, you are messing with that hormone balance, messing with cortisol's job. You may stimulate cortisol to keep going longer. So it could even affect your sleep in the night. And we all know that if your cortisol is high, you cannot burn fat. So this one little thing that maybe you're doing every morning, getting your caffeine first thing in the morning, could be inhibiting your ability to lose fat, your ability for your hormones to balance, your ability to fall asleep at night. Because sometimes having caffeine in the morning first thing, or having too much caffeine, can actually keep your cortisol high throughout the day. And there's nobody burning fat or being able to sleep when that happens. We know this. We have anxiety. So this is one of the things that I've learned that is so hard to do. No, I didn't want to do it. Yes, it took a while, didn't just happen like that, but I did it and I feel a lot better and I do notice a difference. I just grab water. I grab my hydro jug full of ice water. I put in some natural, unflavored raw electrolytes. I like the Element T raw, and also the Redmond Real Light unflavored. That's what I add to my water. So I'm not breaking my fast. I'm not messing up my resting digestion. I am still feeling good. I'm hydrating my brain. I'm giving myself energy and I feel better. So that's what I've switched it out for. May not be as glamorous as walking to sit down with a nice hot cup of coffee, but it has helped me with fat loss and hormone regulation and feeling better. And then after those 2 hours, I do then go to the coffee pot and I push brew. And I was waiting the 2 hours, but then like probably 2 weeks ago, I thought, why am I waiting? When I sit down with my Bible and with my journal, I want a hot cup of coffee. What can I do? And then it dawned on me, why not decaf? So my first cup of coffee, even though I wait probably an hour and a half, first cup is decaf. I can have my coffee and I can delay caffeine very simply. So number 2, the second thing that I have learned is getting sunlight in your eyes in the first 2 hours, awakening within the first 2 hours. This helps with hormone balance and helps to bring out growth hormone. Also in the morning, we are more insulin sensitive. All these hormones are waking up and it's going with the sun. So when you get up and you look into the sun, you are setting your clock. You're setting your circadian rhythm within your body. This is how our body functions. This is how to help to make sure that we fall asleep easier at night when we're getting ready to bed and it's starting to get dark out and the sun is going down. Our body works with the rhythm of the daylight, works with the rhythm of the seasons. And so when you get up in the morning, you look at that sunlight, even if it's cloudy, go out and look towards the sun, and those rays will go into your eyes and help regulate metabolism and your other hormones. All of this takes place very simply by just looking at the sun, not through glass, not through sunglasses, just look at the sun. Don't stare directly at it. Look just above it or below it and let the rays just go into your eyes. It feels good. It helps wake you up and it gives you energy and balances hormone, all the things that we want. The next thing that I do every morning is I walk. I walk every morning for 30 minutes. This gives me about a mile because I'm not walking fast. It's just my morning walk to have movement, which I got based on this book, again, Miracle Morning. He talks about how important it is to get movement in the morning. And I thought, when I first read this book, I thought, I'm going to just try it and see. And it has changed so much without me even realizing it. I walk and I pray for 30 minutes around my living room. This is what I do before I sit down with my Bible and my journal. I light a candle and I walk for those 30 minutes. It gives me a mile. I'm getting steps in. It's helping towards my goal of each day of steps, and it's moving my body. I feel so good doing that in the morning. By the time I sit down with my Bible, I have walked a mile. That is just something not only physically good, but mentally good. It just feels so good. My body is moving. Movement gets our metabolism going, gets our hormones, helps to balance our hormones, gets our energy going in the right direction, and you just feel better. Starting your day with 15 to 30 minutes of movement is changing. It changes your life because you start to feel your body is meant to move. It's just part of your daily routine. And when you fit it into that daily routine, it becomes part of it. It just transforms your whole day because you just work it in everywhere. It just becomes part of you. I get up in the morning. I don't even think that I have to walk, or it's just part of my routine that I fit in. Like we hear a lot about this in the Atomic Habits, habit stacking. I pray for that half hour, but now I walk and pray for that half hour. It gets me steps. It gets me prayer. It gets me movement. It helps to balance my hormones, helps for my appetite, all these things that I'm doing in the morning. And moving in the morning helps to regulate your insulin, helps to burn fat. And it's another thing, it helps to reduce cortisol. So it helps your cortisol to regulate itself when it comes up. So it just all works together and makes sense. Get 15 to 30 minutes of movement in your morning routine. The next thing is protein. Now, I am an intermittent faster. I don't eat breakfast, right? That's how it's been for years. I would stop eating at evening, 5 or 6, and then not eat until lunch or after the next day. Well, I have since changed that up because, once again, I listen to scientific studies. I listen to other people's experiences. I research and I listen to doctors. And what I found for me that makes sense is eating within your circadian rhythm. And that means eating in the morning. And what I've also discovered is eating protein with some healthy fat in the morning helps me sustain my energy throughout the day, helps keep me satiated throughout the day, takes care of my hunger. I don't want to snack. I'm not thinking of food when I eat protein in the morning. Now, they suggest you eat within 1 or 2 hours of waking. I will not eat within 1 or 2 hours of waking. I've been an intermittent faster for so long that coffee was my go-to. And some days it still is. But if I'm hungry in the morning, I will make a protein-packed breakfast and eat it. And I just honestly have to say, I feel better. I feel my body leaning out and I have more energy and less food noise. Not that I had much before, but there are times in the day when you think you want something munchy or you're craving something. Having good protein, 40 to 50 grams of protein in the morning has helped me regulate my appetite, sustain my energy. It's helped with fat loss. And I know that if that's all happening, my hormones are balancing. So that's one suggestion. One thing I've started to do in my morning routine is make sure that I'm having protein at some point in the morning. So I've also talked about through this, it's weaved in, is gratitude and having a time to set your mindset, have prayer in your morning routine. That has totally changed my life. I remember back in 2016, my youngest daughter was 5, 6, and I was waking up every morning because I felt called to wake up and do my morning devotionals, my prayers before everybody else got up. That was the only time of day that I had time to myself. And so that was my routine. I'd get up, have my morning devotionals, drink my coffee alongside of those devotionals, and then get up, proceed to take care of the rest of my day, do my 40-minute workout, make sure that the kids were off to school, all these things that I would do. And that was part of my morning routine. And I would just fall into that habit that was my routine. But then after I read this book, I realized that those morning moments, those minutes that I spend in the morning, I need to be more intentional with my time and what I'm doing. And of course, the devotionals will always be part of my morning routine. But there were a few tweaks that I had to make to ensure that my physical body was turning or becoming healthier, becoming fully alive, healing the things that I needed to heal. And so I started to change some things up. So I delay caffeine, get sunlight and protein, move gently, connect spiritually, and my mornings are beautiful. That foundation makes all the difference when you are going for fat loss, when you are going to balance your hormones, when you are trying to step into life in full participation, healing whatever has happened or whatever we've done to ourselves in the past to just turn direction. It all starts with a foundation of a good morning routine. So I took pieces of The Miracle Morning, which I recommend this book because it just gives you a perspective of why it's so important to make a morning routine and stick with it and do it day after day after day, because it will change your life. But I took pieces of this and then I just rewrote it for midlife fat loss, for hormone balance, and for real life going in the direction of my second half in life. As a mother, as a grandmother, my morning routine plays such a big part. And I've had a lot of people ask, what do you do for your morning routine? And here it is. So going back through it, I make sure that I delay caffeine. I make sure that I step into the sun in the morning, get some sunlight into my eyes to help regulate my metabolism and my hormones and my energy. I have protein sometime in the morning, a good protein packed breakfast. I do 40 to 50 grams. You can do 30 grams. Just get some protein in the morning. It helps to sustain your satiety. It helps your hunger hormones, regulates leptin, and helps regulate your insulin levels. I move in the morning. I make sure that I get 15 to 30 minutes of morning movement. Make sure you do that. That just sets your day up with, you've already got so many steps under your belt. You already have 30 minutes of exercise done. It is so good to do movement in the morning. And then remember prayer, gratitude, and journaling. Make sure that you make that part of your day. It is life transforming. I started that back in 2012 and it has changed my life. Changing all these little habits like the caffeine, the protein, the sun, hydrating first thing in the morning, doing those things, those came later. But it all started with a foundation of mindset, prayer, and gratitude starting my day, because it helped me get everything else in line. And because I did that, because I built that in the beginning, it's helped me to build this routine through the years that really helps me with my health goals and my life goals. So it's so, so important. It's one of the foundational habits of every morning. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead. Make sure that you start building your morning routine. Let me know below, what habit are you going to start incorporating into your morning routine? I would love to hear. And like always, I will see you in the next video.